married 40, 50 years, but they don't spend quality time
what
together.
This time and space is for us to build.
But until you physically experienced it and were immersed in it, then that's when you felt something different.
That is. No, thank you. I know.
That people don't reach out. Just because they'll reach out doesn't meet your expectations.
You're still in air. No one can take that away from you. But we have the opportunity to own that. And that can change absolutely everything for our lives.
Finding the balance between excellence and perfection, I think, is one lesson.
Welcome to Leadership Live, Season 5.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Renita, and you are watching Leadership Live with Dr. Renita and friends. And I'm so excited to have you here with us this week. And for those of you all who have never met me before, first of all, foremost, welcome. So glad you have now joined the fam. Welcome. Come on in the room. I am Dr. Renita, and I am an educational leadership strategist, or for the most part, just a leadership strategist, because I work with leaders of all type. And I work with leaders who are trying to become more authentic in their leadership, empower their followership, and at the end of the day, have a greater impact on the world. And I do that by coaching, speaking, doing workshops, facilitation of all kinds of meetings. And lately, I've started doing this thing called media training. Let me tell you, that is so much fun. Who knew that leaders needed more training when it came to working with the media? Because like it or not, media is here and it's here to stay. So my leadership clients, I love them. I love working with my groups. We have a great time. I am also the founder and visionary of The Refining Life, a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide you with experiences to have your mindset shifted so that you can lead a more positive and productive life. I am also an author. I've written 4 books. Stepmom, Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs, editions 1 and 2, as well as While You Are Sleeping, The Perfect Children of All Ages book, and my latest book, The Case of the Unlikely Leader, The Real Cost to Be a Boss. And if you were here last week, you know about something else coming your way, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. Now, that first book I wrote, Stepmom, it came from my own personal journey because I am a wife and a mother of 4. I birthed 2 children and I own 2 children. And I say I own them because I fed those boys for a long time. They are mine, but they also were my husband's first before we got married. And we blended our family together. And that journey is one like none other. If you've ever blended anything, a family, just a marriage, a corporation, an organization, or just a friend group, honey, blending is a thing. Can somebody join me with blending is a thing? And blending our family was quite a journey. It's still quite a journey, honey. It is. It is. And we will continue to blend for the rest of our lives because blending and collaborating and working together is something that we all should do. So look forward to a blended event coming your way soon here in 2025. But so with all of that, I am a host. I am a producer, not only of like broadcast events, but also of live events. I produce the Refining the Mind Women's Conference for the Refining Life every year, and I have a few more things coming down the pipe. So just be ye ready. I am a speaker, a host, a friend, a minister, a mentor, a mentee, a coach. I do the things. But here today, I am your host of Leadership Live with Dr. Renita and friends. And my friend today is ready to come and meet you. She is quite fabulous and amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Dr. Margo Ford Crosby. Okay. The people were excited.
Yes, I can feel it. And I mean, I guess you're speaking things into existence.
I am.
I'm not a doctor yet, but I feel that. And it's so ironic that you call me that. It sounds really good.
Doesn't it though?
I haven't even said this out loud, but I'm going to say it on your show. I just got accepted into a doctoral program.
Let me tell you, sometimes you have to speak the thing. And I wanted you to hear that out loud because I've heard this desire in your heart. And I don't know if I did not know that you were fully walking it, but I want you to walk that talk.
It's happening. Like I clicked the yes, I will accept. So like it's happening. So we might have to do another sister chat on the side about all of those things. But thank you for having me today.
You are very, very welcome. Well, Margo, I am so excited to introduce you to this group of people because I have been pleasantly gifted in my interactions with you. So I want the people to meet you. So I'm going to step away for a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, Margo for Crosby.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be here today with you all. I call myself the driven and passionate early care and learning dynamo, right? I am passionate about early care and learning. I have been in the field for, I would like to say probably 17 years. I stopped calculating after about 15. But I did spend 15 years in a early care and learning classroom, whether it was pre-K or kindergarten. The babies, the young children, what I often call them, are my passion. I am also a children's book author. Mirrors Up. Mirrors Up is a book full of affirmations for young children. Well, I say it's for young children, but it can also be for the educators and adults, and we're working on some things with that as well. But it's a book full of affirmations. I truly believe if children learn to affirm themselves at a young age, when they grow and get older and the world is not so nice to them, they'll have those foundational affirmations to hold on to bring up, to lift up, and to affirm themselves. Currently, I am the proud owner and operator of TLC Consulting. You might see it on my earring. Shout out to Staten Wood Company for making these for me. And shout out to my husband, Jeff Crosby, for designing the logo. So TLC Consulting is a early childhood consulting firm which provides professional learning opportunities for educators, for community, to expand our community's knowledge and awareness of early care and learning, and for the educators to enhance their teaching skills, their abilities, their family engagement, their learning, all of those things, because the world is evolving and we need those updated information. So I love to do research and kind of share that information with early care and learning educators. TLC is my baby. We do author visits, we do trainings, we do keynotes, all of the things. So that is my baby. And Dr. Renita, I'm happy to be here today.
Well, I am happy to have you. So Margo and I, we like softly met, and then we had this like big launch meeting. So maybe you saw Leadership Live years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have. I know I connected with you on LinkedIn for sure. Mm-hmm. I think that's where I first saw it. But then I saw you kind of connecting with people that I knew or that I follow. And I was like, oh, who is this woman doing the darn thing? And I need to connect with her.
I love it. Well, so to the point of what we're going to be talking about today, sometimes you got to put yourself out there and make the connection. You just got to put yourself out there and make the connection. So when I met Margo officially in person, it was through my networking with another educator. So I met Cindy when I was working another job, doing a tour for them and doing some recordings for them. And we ended up having this amazing connection. She was like, you need to meet this group of women that I work with, the Black women educators from North Carolina. She said, you need to meet them. I'm going to put an introduction out for you. Just be ready. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I was ready. Whatever she said, I was willing to go with. And I ended up coming to my first meeting and I met Margo there. Yes. And it was one of those, I know I've seen you somewhere before. We have. I don't know. I don't know where it was. And just we spent I don't know how long trying to figure out where we met or had not met. But what we did know is that we had a connection.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
so I am so excited to not only to have finally met you in person, but to have gotten to work with you on an event. And I think that is what cemented our be all end all. We in this thing for the long haul.
Facts, 100%.
So,
We did it. We got
honey,
we did it.
like none other. The world was not prepared.
Was not. I mean, the way it just came together was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was an absolutely fabulous event that I think went beyond even what we thought it would be. But it was beautiful. But I'll say this, that is a testament to me that sometimes, even before you have cemented these bonds, it's something special about creating together.
Yes.
That can bond you for life, long and short. And so I am so grateful for the opportunity to have worked with you and Angela and gotten the job done.
We did it. Like, I still think, and even that planning that event, I think we planted seeds of just networking. So to see Angela bring a vendor, right? Like, we all kind of connected with vendors, and then to see those vendors at one of your events later, I was just like, oh my goodness, like, just the connections, the seeds that were planted were so impactful. And that's like what we do. That's what we need as Black women, educators, all of the things. That is what we need right now, is that networking, that coming together, that sharing of resources and all of those things.
Hello, my loves. I have a new book coming out. Take the time and go ahead and pre-order yours. It's called Village Minded, and it's going to be a game changer. Don't miss out. Order yours today.
Bless you. So
thank you.
That is what we need. And I'm super grateful that we could not only plant seeds for ourselves, but for the women that were involved and engaged in that event with us.
Absolutely. It was a beautiful day that was the beginning of so many beautiful connections and relationships. And so to our topic today, beyond the classroom, the power of networking. And this is a topic that's near and dear to both of us because we are both educators. No matter what arena of education that we work in or have worked in, we are educators, and we're educators for life. I think that once you've worked in education, it is hard to part from it, even when you're not in a traditional position of education. Like, I do not work in a traditional school all day, every day anymore. I may work with schools. I may do some facilitation with workshops at schools or with schools, but I don't work at a school every day. But I am a homeschool teacher. So I am working at a school, just not a traditional school. And let me tell you, it is a to-do. It is a to-do, a to-done, and to be.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But even in this space of education, I am learning every day the power of networking and how it is changing and shaping the way I work with my student. So when you were thinking about this topic, because you chose this topic and I saw it, I was like, yep, that's the one. Let's type it on up. When you were thinking about this, what brought you to even this ideal and wanting this to be a topic of discussion?
In full transparency, it started, like, I knew when I graduated from college. I'm a graduate of Winston-Salem State, HBCU, love, brand pride. My undergrad, I graduated from Winston-Salem State, and I knew at that point that I wanted to own a business. Like, I had a concentration in business administration. However, life happens. I was in the classroom, had to come back home to Greensboro, where's home, after exploring, going through divorce and all of those things, right? Like, life happens. So I came back home, was able to get a job in a classroom, but I still had this yearning of wanting to own a business. But you get content in the classroom oftentimes. I was teacher of the year, all of the things. Like I had reached kind of like, what am I going to do next? Platform. So I started, I was members of organizations. Like I'm a member of NAEYC. I'm a member of BCD, Black Child Development Institute. I'm a member of different organizations for my career wise, right? And I began to wonder, like, okay, should I take leadership roles in these things? Or, I'm just a member, I'm paying my dues, but what am I actually doing? And so it all happened when I went to apply for a director's position outside of public school where I had spent so many years. And they told me I didn't have enough graduate courses in early childhood to qualify for the position. But I made it all the way to the third and final interview. So it was literally between me and one other person. And so I knew at that moment, while I didn't have, quote unquote, the coursework for this position, I made it to the final round. Like, so it started clicking. Had I known someone, potentially that could have been mine. So I started questioning, what does networking look like for me? I wasn't as active in the organizations that I belong to as I could be, and I'm not that I am now. I'll talk now. But at the time, I was not that out forward person to start the conversation or to walk up at a conference and just spark up a conversation. I had not even submitted proposals to present at conferences. I had some things I wanted to say or some things that I could share from the classroom, but just not. So that's where it kind of started for me, applying for a job, not getting it, realizing had I networked, I probably could have got the job. I could have sealed the deal. And I did have the experience and expertise. Maybe, I was missing a few coursework, but it did encourage me to go back to school and get, another certification, making sure that I had the necessary requirements for such positions. And let's be clear, I was director of pre-K for a school district. So I did enough networking in school.
Or as they would say.
Yes. So I did achieve that goal on my, vision board as far as achieving a director of pre-K or early childhood position. But at that time, I had to learn some lessons about putting myself out there and networking.
Well, people say it all the time. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And whether we want to believe it or not, whether we want to get upset and frustrated due to, our qualifications versus, others and what we see people getting and what we haven't gotten, baby. If at no other time in history, we are learning. It is who you know. Yes. It is who you know and what they know about you. And depending on where you're trying to be is whether or not you will support the vision, whether or not you will execute the vision the way they desire it to be done. It makes more of a difference now than it has made in a very long time.
Yes.
And if you get to know the right people and they know you, and they don't even have to know you well, they need to know enough of you, just enough of you. They will call the person that they need to get to you, to put you in a position you didn't even know you were qualified for. And sometimes you aren't. And that could be a good and a bad thing.
True.
Because sometimes the qualifications don't particularly speak to what really needs to get done in that position. That's just what was written.
Listen.
And sometimes the qualifications are what really need to get done, and then you get put in a position, and then you just flopping them like a fish. So it could go either way. It could go either way. But so you talk about how at one point in time you weren't that outgoing. You weren't a person who would put yourself out there. what shifted and how did you become the person you are today? Because the Margo I've met is going to meet you, right? How did you go from to hey?
So I think it was a combination of things. Like I said, reaching out to organizations that I was already paying my dues to and just not utilizing the resources that were there afforded to me. So being a member of NAEYC, we have a local affiliate, which is the North Carolina Association for Educators of Young Children, which is NCAEYC. Mm-hmm. So I had the privilege, started doing some research in the database and just asked a question at the conference. Who can I connect with in North Carolina? Somebody responded in one of the chats and said, reach out to Lori Barnes, who was the president at that time. Well, little did I know, Lori was working with a Dr. Brenda K. Williamson.
Wow.
And Dr. BK, affectionately is what we call her, was planting seeds and developing with two other women, Dr. McMillan and Miss Angela Wilson, excuse me. She's not a doctor, but she Dr. Wilson, trust me.
Right.
Dr. Angela Wilson on this, it was called Equity Circle. So Equity in ECE Circle, Equity in Early Childhood Circle. And so I, saw it on the website, added them on LinkedIn. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I see this pop-up. They're having this event coming up in the next week. It's an Equity Circle. It's an hour and a half. It's after work hours, beyond the classroom. So even after I finish my classroom assignments, duties after work, the power of networking. Let me join this meeting. It's free. I'm a member. Even if you're not a member, you could join, right? So that's how passionate they were about equity in early childhood. And when I tell you I got on this meeting, and for me, it was to see 3 Black, beautiful women sharing research, knowledge. I had only seen people who did not look like me sharing early childhood research in my learning environments. Yes, I went to a HBCU, and yes, I did have Black women, male and female instructors, but in full transparency, a lot of my instructors, even there, didn't look like me, right? And when I say didn't look like me, I mean that with age, gender, race, all of the things, right? I was brave enough. It was a safe, brave space to raise my hand in that meeting and say, I need a mentor. I need someone to guide me. I'm trying to come out of the classroom. I want to go beyond the classroom. I have gifts and talents. I don't know where to start, who to mentor me, who to help me. And my bravery in saying that in that meeting was clearly a seed planted, because Dr. BK affectionately or wholeheartedly kind of took me under her wings and was like, oh, I got something for you to do. We call it stretching. So she stretches me. Makes me step out of my comfort zones, and you can do it. Yes, you can do this. You can lead this. You can do this. Oh yeah, apply for this. All of the things. She is a mentor and an advocate. She's connected me with other people, things that I'm passionate about. She's wrote me recommendation letters, all of the things. So me attending NAEYC's Equity in Early Childhood was kind of like that launching pad for me of me going beyond the classroom and starting TLC and writing mirrors, all of the things, right? Wow. So yes.
So these are a few notes that I've taken. Okay, so everybody else, if you don't have your notebook, get you a handy dandy. Get you something. Get your phone. I don't care what you get. Get something and take notes. Okay, so we're taking notes here. And in my notes, it was this idea of classroom contentment. I liked how you said that, but I think I took it even further as you were talking to think about the people who get complacent in the classroom. And they allow that not to be a vehicle or not even a vehicle. It allows them to sit in their vehicle parked. They say they got in a car. They just didn't go anywhere. Baby, there is more. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate every teacher, every educator that sits in that classroom for 30 years.
Yes.
You are amazing. You are fabulous. But just because you're in the classroom for 30 years doesn't mean that you can't do anything else.
That part.
There is more. You can sit in that classroom and you can write a book. You can be in that classroom and start a tutoring service. You can be in that classroom and become mentor extraordinaire. You can be in that classroom and they put an ampersand behind it, honey. Work it. Do what you do. And so when the classroom, you about to throw every child out the window in your classroom, you can remember, I wrote a book. I don't have to be here. It's something about the power of saying that one good time to your class as an educator. I don't have to be here. There is something else I do and I can do. I'm here because I love you. Now sit down and do the work.
And not only to the children or the students in your care, but sometimes you need to say it to the administration, the people who are trying to micromanage or whatever the case may be. You got to let them know, I do have a moneymaker.
Hello, I am Dr. Renita L. Webb.
We're ready to not only be poured into, but to also pour out today. Yeah. Our best, our very best, to be on time. Hello, somebody can we say on time?
You had a moment where you had something that was given to you that you thought was your gift, and you found out it was for everybody.
And I remember Sister Vanessa went with her friends to Baltimore to see the wretch. At that time, I didn't know what the wretch was. I didn't know what wretch meant, but I knew she shouldn't have been there.
How to have those feelings and to crank up those emotions within you to say, oh, that really wasn't right.
I sit better in my car than I do in my shower, but that's what you tell me. The only thing better in my car would just be in the car. Unless my jam comes on, then I don't care who's in the car. We're going to take them out free.
If you're not going to treat me the way I need to be treated, the way I'm valued, if you're not going to value me, I got some other things. You know what I'm saying?
Where are my keys? I can be out.
I'm going to drive and thrive the car. I just won't sit there in it.
It's like parked right now, but honey,
I know how to move it.
Go in reverse. Drive.
That's good.
It won't stay in neutral either. But even if I put it in neutral, we're gonna roll a little bit. Don't play with me. But that's leadership needing to value their fellowship, leadership needing to empower their fellowships. Because as a leader in the building, that teacher that administration should be saying, oh, you have a book? Let's do an author talk in the library next week. How can we incorporate this book throughout our school? I will be John Brown if I would ever lose anybody. As a former school administrator, I will be John Brown if I ever was going to lose anybody to the fact that they were doing something else when they could still teach and choose not to because of me. I won't be the reason. Absolutely not.
Make sure you put that hashtag in this so some administrators can hear that. I'm just saying that was a word right there.
Don't worry, I'll make it a clip. But I mean, I've been in those shoes. I've been in those shoes as a teacher. I've been in those shoes as an administrator. I've been in those shoes as a consultant to a school that was shifting in their leadership.
Wow.
Don't be the reason. Don't be the reason the students lose an absolutely amazing educator because you refuse to support them in their growth. I strongly say every teacher needs an ampersand. You need to, I teach and. There's more
power
to
of and.
Yes.
And
it doesn't have to be something that's going to kill you or take you out, but I do other things. Even if it is just, I teach and I do community theater. Everybody on my staff about to be at the show, and we're about to be the loudest supporters at the show. When I say we're gonna be at the show, you better kickball change. I don't know what you're doing, but you better do that monologue. Yes, you've got to support the and.
Yes.
You've
It's
got
so important. And like you were mentioning earlier, even in the times we are in right now, we know that there's teacher shortages. We know that there are all of the things, but that's how you build unity within community, like within your school community. Building that unity is like, oh, I can do both because I'm being supported by this person. So I can do both. I can run TLC and operate in this classroom because I know that they're supporting me. They're allowing me opportunities to enhance that. They don't see it as a threat, right? Like they see it as a positive. So yeah, oh, that's good. That's good right there.
But and I will say this: so administration don't be the reason why they walk, but also educator don't be the reason why they question. Because because sometimes we're being or because you spending your time in your classroom working on your book. Are you spending time in your classroom trying to get to a workshop or do whatever that don't have anything to do with that classroom? Be in the classroom and be the author.
Yes.
Be in the classroom and be the performer. Be and. Like, you don't have to worry about me and mine. My students are thriving. Every paper is graded in a decent amount of time. Maybe it took 2 extra days, but it's a decent amount of time. That would happen whether you were doing anything else or not, because sometimes grading paper takes a while. I'm communicating with my families. My students feel cared for and loved. They are getting educated. I am being and. So if you are being and, why wouldn't an administrator support and? That's just silly town to me. That is a waste of time, and that is pushing people away for no reason. No,